Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticlowns. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a Transformers television podcast where we're going through the history of the franchise on television, but not in chronological order. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey.
And I'm your other host, Nero.
And one of these episodes was not great, and the other one was very good.
Which one was which?
I thought the second one was much stronger than the first one.
Yeah, probably. I think there were some... there was some weird stuff about the first one in regards to animation.
Animation and also, writing. I have a issue with, the core plot of the first one. But, yeah, anyway. We are starting to get to what I call the good stuff, TM.
Yeah, this is Plot Town. We got character arcs, coming to fruition. We've got,
Murder.
Murder, very graphic robot murder in this one.
Wow.
He's melting!
Yeah, it's pretty grim, but also he doesn't die.
He's fine. That's the thing about Unicron Trilogy Transformers. These fuckers are durable. Yeah,
he's dead, but he's fine. Speaking of being dead but fine, should we start going into the episodes?
Yeah, before we do, I just want to drop one factoid. Uh-huh. One little factoid that will I won't reveal who, but there is only one character in the entirety of the Unicron trilogy who dies permanently without being revived at least once. And I won't reveal who it is to the audience, but the answer is extremely funny.
I'm gonna say... Oh, well, dies permanently without being revived at least...
At least once.
Because... So other people do die permanently after being revived?
Yes.
Okay.
But... for one person, there is no second chance, and I will reveal all when it occurs, because it's the funniest shit in the world.
Okay, I'm gonna put my guess down for Double Face.
I mean, can you really count him as dying at all ever? He's like a weird ghost man.
You cannot kill me in any way that matters.
Exactly, but regardless, keep that in the back of your head, listeners.
Right. That
there's one unlucky fellow who will be
fine.
Eating it.
I'm changing it to Sandstorm.
That's a pretty good bet. He has a lot of unfortunate things happen to him in the various parts of his body.
Yeah. All right, let's go in.
Episode 33, which in the dub is Sacrifice.
In the sub, it is Sacrificial Scapegoat.
I see. So one of these titles is talking about Smokescreen, the other one is talking about Starscream.
I think both of them were talking about Starscream.
Maybe. We start off with some... So we start off the episode with some weird visuals where...
We start off the episode being slammed into a visual novel. This is fucking Umineko. It's so rather than animating the scene, because I guess their budget ran out, the first half of the scene is just close-ups of Megatron and Thrust taking turns talking, or not close-ups of them, full body shots of them taking turns talking while being under the spotlight and not moving at all. No mouth animation, no nothing, just hello. Have you seen Utena?
I was thinking about fucking Utena when I saw this. I was like, what does this remind me of? Oh yeah, it's Utena. You talk about Umineko, Thrust is here, and he's saying, Battler, don't be ridiculous. I have never seen any visions of Sideways, ever.
Yeah, literally, Rasputin, the astrologist Thrust, is Beatrice. You can't tell me that the stars aren't magic. You've no proof.
So they're just talking about how Thrust is basically listen, they have the Requiem Blaster. Our only option right now is to hit them hard and fast to try and get it. We need that gun to win this war.
Yeah.
And Megatron's just like, well, yeah, seems right to me, but you better not fuck up this time, Thrust.
In the great words of Marina Diamandis, want it fast, want it hard.
So, we end that weird little visual novel interlude. Get the little, like, commercial break, eye catch or whatever. Then we get some narration from Rad, sort of setting up. He spoils the end of the episode. He's like, the Autobots were informed about a Decepticon attack in the jungle, but it's really a trap.
Well, yeah, no.
Same episode.
Oh, okay, so it's slightly different. This is... Alright, now I understand. So this is the part that, like, made me annoyed about the first episode, is that they're not responding to a Decepticon presence. They're like, the Decepticons issued us a challenge here, and we accept it, and we came. It's like,
yeah, no.
Why would you do that? Why would you possibly do that?
It wasn't a challenge. They, like, detected Decepticon signals in this jungle and decided to check it out. I don't think there's any mention of, like, a challenge. They know that they're here to fight, but it wasn't, like, Megatron throwing down the gauntlet or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, they're very clearly, they're all waiting in the trees or whatever, and they're like, well, the Decepticons challenged us to come here, but they're not even here. What the fuck? It's like, first of all, like, why did you accept this? Well, you knew this was going to be a trap. How, like, stupid are you? And second of all, why would you think that they would play by, like, high school soccer rules?
If there's one thing I know about Armada Megatron is that he's very honest and very honorable.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yep.
Definitely a Megatron you can trust the word of, who definitely never gaslights his own soldiers or uses them as pawns.
Megatron, change you can believe in.
Build back better, Thrust. It's a perfect slogan. So, yeah, everyone's complaining, especially Jetfire is really complaining about the humidity. He fucking hates it here. It's like, this fucking moisture's getting into my circuits. This sucks. I want to go home. And so we kind of get the setup here. Everyone is out in this fucking jungle rusting their asses off, with the exception of Red Alert, who is on babysitting duty, and Smokescreen, who is on a different kind of babysitting duty. He is guarding the space team, who, as we came to the conclusion in a couple episodes ago, are not going to be deployed. They don't want to fight, so the Autobots aren't going to make them fight. So they're just going to keep them safe and sound at the base. And Smokescreen is looking after them. He's got you know, some board games, some fucking Capri Suns.
And they're like, this plan is genius because they'll never even, like, think that we wouldn't bring the Astro Blaster with us. So we're so smart that we're not going to bring the universe's strongest weapon because it's sentient and doesn't want to be brought. But also, they'll never see it coming.
They'll never see it coming. So Starscream, back in the jungle, Starscream appears, and like a few weird things. Number one, well, actually, before that, Carlos is still on this fucking we got to make the space team fight train. He wants to make them fight. Carlos, you need to learn about empathy. You can't just be telling them to make the big gun because it shoots cool. That boy's not very bright.
But the big gun shoots cool.
I know the big gun shoots cool, and you'll all get to see how cool it shoots very shortly when it perforates your friend's fucking abdomen. But, Alexis tells him about deterrence. It's like, oh, listen, just the idea that they have the gun will make the Decepticons not want to act.
To be fair, she's right.
She is right. He's like, I've been studying a lot about politics because I'm going to be the president one day.
Yeah, she's like, have you heard about the Cold War?
So, this is when Starscream arrives. He's got the Star Saber.
There's a really weird line from Hot Rod here, and I know this is what he actually said, because I could, like, hear the word in English as he said it. He says, they only sent one maid.
What?
Yeah, he calls Starscream a maid.
All right, Hotshot. Well, like, what?
Yeah, I don't have a good explanation for you, but he does definitely call Starscream the English word maid.
See, I feel like that should have resulted in like a 2-second pause, and then Jetfire just turns around and goes, What did you call it? What? Hotshot,
Yeah.
what did you just say?
They only sent one maid.
What are you talking about, Hotshot?
Yeah.
That's weird. The only thing that he just says it's Starscream in the dub, but Jetfire does say, "We've got company, boys." Loves to spout those action one-liners.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is in response to Starscream essentially going, Autobots, come out and play!
Yeah, he's got the Star Saber. He's fucking blasting the jungle and yelling for them to come out. And all of the Autobots are like, this doesn't make much sense. Why would Megatron give Starscream the Star Saber? He wouldn't trust Starscream to do shit. Because, well, as we soon learn, this is just all a ploy. Because Megatron, Demolisher, and Thrust are up on a cliff, just sort of watching everything. Demolisher's got the binoculars. Tidal Wave, who they're still calling Shockwave.
Well, that's his
for
name.
whatever reason. That is, I kind of wish they just they just were able to call him Shockwave, but eventually they will get their shit straight and call him Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave is up in the sky, ready to descend if need be, and Thrust is there, and he's like, "All right, so we haven't flushed them out yet, and 2, we can't really see if any of them have the blaster, but don't worry, this plan is foolproof, Megatron." And Megatron, who is like sitting on a rock, I like that Megatron always finds a place to just sort of lounge on these missions.
You gotta pop that squat.
He's gotta pop the squat. And so, yeah, eventually, I believe, yeah, the Autobots eventually start fighting Starscream. And this is when Demolisher is like looking around and reporting, "Yeah, I don't see the Requiem blaster, sir."
There's a really funny exchange here where Thrust is like, well, like, keep looking, and Ironhide's just like, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Lord Megatron.
Yeah, there's a very similar one, but there's an extra flavor there, because Thrust says the same thing, but he's like, we'll keep looking. And Demolisher goes, "I'm not talking to you, Eraserhead, I'm talking to Megatron."
Eraserhead?
Yeah, Eraserhead.
Holy shit.
And then Megatron says, "Mind your rank, Demolisher." It's like, listen.
Oh god, he's Eraserhead baby.
I know Thrust is a freakish nightmare man, but you can't insult him, he outranks you. To which Demolisher just responds with like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, in the sub, he just calls him Squidhead again. But Eraserhead, he's a Eraserhead baby. We unlocked it. That's what he is. He's a Eraserhead baby.
Megatron, have I ever shown you my protoform pictures?
Oh, Christ.
Wow, you were a real freak back then.
That's what he really looks like. It looks like a fucking protoform. Like, put that boy back in the oven. He is not done.
So he's like the equivalent of like a fucking Benjamin Button type or whatever. He would be just a distressingly smooth man if he was a human. He'd be like a smooth Jimmy Neutron with baby skin. Ooh. Cursed Thrust. Human Sona.
That's his hollow form.
Thrust, I appreciate that you are attempting to, blend in better, but please, never use this again.
So
Cyclonus hasn't stopped puking.
So, this goes on for, a while. And we get a cut back to the base, where all the kids, again, with Ratchet, are sort of watching the fight. And Jim, God bless him, again, MVP over here, is looking at both the footage of the battle as well as the footage of the base, and he notices that it's on a loop. And he's like, "Hey, who changed the video?" And Ratchet's like, "What do you mean, who changed the video?" And he looks down at it and sees it's on a loop, and he's like, "Oh shit, oh fuck, when did that happen?" And as he's saying this, Double Face's face appears on the screen, and he goes, "I'm in your base, killing all your dudes."
We do a little trolling. Before that, though, I just want to shout out one moment where when Thrust is talking to Megatron, or maybe it's Demolisher asking Megatron about this plan with Starscream. Or no, it's when, because Starscream is like fighting Optimus right now. Like he's going against orders and like challenging Optimus at the moment. Megatron calls him like a mutant when he's like, this fucking idiot freak can't follow orders. What a goddamn mutant! Like, calm down, Megatron.
Wow.
Rude.
Why don't you read some X-Men and maybe you'll calm down a little?
Maybe you'll learn something
about
society. So yeah, it's Sideways again. He's here to creepypasta it up. You remember when Red Alert was like, "Hey, don't worry about Sideways hacking into our systems. I installed some fucking like McAfee firewalls or whatever." Well, didn't work.
Yeah, that's what you get for going with the free stuff.
You should have sprung for fucking Avast Premium, Red Alert. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bitdefender something.
So yeah, like he's just like cycling through security cameras on the base, especially the footage of Smokescreen and the space team. Weird. Why is he looking at that so closely?
Yeah, impossible to say.
And so we see it's Optimus and Starscream are fighting, and Optimus is trying to talk some sense into Starscream, which is an admirable effort. It doesn't really work, but he's trying.
Yeah, he's trying.
He's like, I want you to. He's like, why don't you think long and hard about this fucking plan, Starscream? Like, why would Megatron send you out here all alone? Like, what is it you really, like, want out of this war? And Starscream just answers with the usual, like, well, I want the Decepticons to win and Megatron to rule over the universe. And Optimus is like, well, you know that to do that, you will and have to enslave each and every Minigicon, right? Including, the ones you're using right now to fight.
And
you're bonded with.
He's been shown, I mean, obviously he and Grid have a very good relationship, since Grid is like his Micron. But he's been shown to have a very positive relationship with Mach Jetter and Shuttler as well, who formed the Star Saber. So
yeah, and so Optimus is like, I want you to really think about that, but Starscream doesn't like to think about things that make him feel complicated feelings. Stop it. So he just goes back and starts swinging again. But is this the part where the Star Saber shuts itself off?
So yeah, as they continue,
oh no, not yet. I'm looking at my notes because first,
yeah,
Thrust goes to like so Demolisher has left to fight some of the Autobots. Thrust is like, God fucking damn it, I gotta go get Starscream, and Megatron is just sitting there like, I told everyone one thing. Everyone had one job, and yet again, everything is falling apart, he says, as he's sitting on his ass doing literally nothing.
Yeah, so his specific complaint in the sub is that, like, he looks at Thrust and he's like, where the fuck is Starscream? And Thrust is like, he appears to be fighting Optimus. And Megatron's like, fuck. If they have the Astro Blaster, they're going to kill us if you, like, retaliate with if he engages him with the Star Saber. Go, like, stop him.
Yeah, in the dub, it's more like, I told him I wanted to fight Optimus, and also if he fucks up our opportunity to get the fucking Requiem Blaster, I'm gonna get his ass. Go collect our boy. So Thrust flies off, and then he sees he has a vision.
Well, he sees them fighting.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there they are, I found them.
And he realizes that no one has the Astro Blaster. And then he gets psychic visions.
And I know that this is different. Like, this is kind of an unclear. There are a few 7-dub differences that I looked at on the wiki. One of them is that, like, Thrust never audibly makes the connection of Sideways showing him where the blaster is, and like the scene after that where Megatron is reacting, he is like throwing a tantrum about not having his cool gun. And in the dub, after Sideways shows him where the blaster is and says, some ominous shit. Let's see where it is. It's there will never be peace in this universe. There
Yeah.
must always be war.
Yeah, I put down the words "no justice, no peace."
And Thrust responds with he's like, what was that? Who said that? Oh, sideways, yes, of course. Wait. Like he catches him, so like, hang on a minute, that guy's dead.
Well, to be fair, they know he's not dead. They tried killing him.
That's right.
It didn't work.
Wait a minute, that guy's a weird digital space ghost. So he turns around to fly off, but he just says like, I'm gonna go collect Starscream instead of what I presume happened in the sub, which is I gotta go tell Megatron about this. I know where the gun is.
I honestly don't remember that strongly. But he sees. Oh, what he said. Oh no, what he says is. So this starts an interesting metaphor that continues throughout the next episode, actually, which is an extended go metaphor.
Ah.
So, Thrust looks down at where Starscream and Optimus are fighting, and he's like, sorry, Starscream, but sometimes it's like in Go. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a stone to gain control of the board. And he turns around and leaves to go back to Megatron.
They could have easily turned that into a chess metaphor.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to ask you if there was an extended chess metaphor, because it keeps being mentioned over and over again in both this and the next episode.
I mean, Thrust could already be used as a chess piece, so I'm, kind of disappointed.
He's perfectly bishop-shaped.
Yes. They're always saying that I'm all bishoped up, Megatron. I don't know what that means. So yeah, this is when the Starsaber shuts down in Starscream's grip. Because Optimus is once again, trying to get him to fucking, he says, hey, listen, none of the Minicons want to fight this war. You need to let them go.
Oh, okay. It's a little different, actually, in the Japanese, because basically Optimus realizes first that all the other Decepticons have left. So he realizes it first, because he has, this realization that there's something, very quiet going on, and that no one is supporting Starscream. And he's like, Starscream, stop. You've been abandoned and betrayed by your entire team. There's no point in you continuing to fight. And Starscream's like, bullshit, I haven't been abandoned or whatever, I've got the Starsaber. Megatron wouldn't just leave me with this incredibly powerful weapon. And Optimus is like, and then Optimus is just like, the Microns, your team doesn't want you, the Microns don't want this, you're not helping them, you're not fighting for them. And Starscream's like, I am fighting for them, they do want this, I'll show you, prove that, they chose me. Mach Jetter and Shuttler chose me to be the wielder of the Starsaber, and I'll prove it to you. And as he goes to attack Optimus, they shut down.
Yeah, so then he goes for his wing sword. It's like, fine, I'll finish you myself. This is when he's calling for back. This is when Optimus is telling him, listen, do you hear anything else in this forest? The Decepticons are gone. No one else is coming. So Starscream starts calling for backup. He calls for Cyclonus, who I don't even think, oh no, he shows up in this episode. He shows up at the base assault, but I didn't see him in this part at all. I don't know where the fuck he was. Regardless, obviously no one answers. He hears some people walking up, and at first he's like, there's Demolisher. But no, it's all the Autobots who get ready to roast his ass about being left behind.
Yeah.
There's a really good line read. There's a really good line read where Hotshot walks up and is like, I guess they all left you, buddy. And Starscream just goes, but where's my guys?
Yeah, Starscream's basically doing the I'm alone, nobody care me monkey meme.
He is. Oh my god.
And he actually, he flies up to, search for all his allies while all the Autobots just sort of placidly watch him on the ground, which is really funny.
They're just geez, I feel kind of bad about this one. We should just go.
And there's a great moment. So he's, shouting for everyone, and then they just stopped bothering to animate his mouth.
Yes, they do.
It's just all right, I see we've run out of the animation budget again here.
He's flying up, he's calling out everyone's name, but then he just screams into the sky, "Why have you abandoned me?" And all the Autobots are just looking up like, "Oh boy, this is a rough one." Then Laserbeak flies up to Optimus.
And then the Tokyo Ghoul OP started playing.
Laserbeak flies up to Optimus, and Rad goes, shit's going down. You need to get back to base right now. The Decepticons are here, trashing the place up.
And Alexa says, "You gotta hurry. It was Double Face's trick."
Double Face's trick.
It was Double Face's trick. Ding, 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 ding.
That's gonna be the fucking, like, subtitle of Transformers Armada, honestly. So yeah, everyone really quickly warps back to base. Starscream tries to go in for one last stab on Optimus, but obviously Optimus works away before he can make contact, and, you know, Starscream has another wail to the sky moment about that. He's just feeling very dramatic today for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's earned a bit of drama.
Yes.
All things considered here.
Definitely. So, then everyone warps into the base, and the Decepticons make quick work. They fucked it up so bad, at first I thought they warped into the moon base. But no, this is their base. Megatron has just sort of been, like, crashing through shit.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
They are basically just like, Megatron is literally basically walking through every wall in his way to find the Requiem Blaster, while Red Alert told the kids to hide in the air ducts and then went off to fend off the rest of the Decepticons, as we see later. But, you know, first Megatron and Thrust be busting through to where Smokescreen and the Minicons are hiding. And, you know, Smokescreen is trying to calm them, like, "Hey, listen, I'm not gonna let any of these fuckers, like, take you and use you as a gun, alright? I will protect you. I promised Optimus that I would protect all of you, so that's what I'm gonna do.
And I'll do it with my life."
So yeah, then the rest of the Autobots find Red Alert, who is like, "I'm sorry, Optimus, I held them off as best I could." It's like, Red Alert, you were holding off 3 dudes at once. That's pretty good.
Yeah, heard the ambulance got moves.
Demolisher is literally made of guns. Like, you were doing pretty alright there, buddy. No hard feelings. But everyone sort of stops dead when they hear a horrible, anguished cry echo through the base.
Yeah.
And there's this, like, weird, you know, the reaction shot of, like, it like, snaps everyone's faces, and there's, like, these comic panel-style separations of all of them reacting to the noise.
Right. And Grap, who had prior to crying out, so Thrust and Megatron had cornered him, and he just slammed Thrust into the wall, which was very funny.
With his crane arm.
With his crane arm.
Just gave him the old 1-2. Yeah, Thrust is out of commission. So Megatron, seeing this, decides to no one hurts his little meow meow, who is Thrust, I guess.
Disgusting.
So he just tears it off. He just tears Smokescreen's arm crane off.
Yeah.
And just tosses it onto the floor.
Listen.
And he has the gun. Like, the rest of the Autobots run in. Hotshot's there first. He sees Smokescreen lying on the ground. And then Megatron points the gun at him like, "Hey, look what I got. Found it."
Hey, Ma, they killed a man on live TV.
Yeah, so Megatron is just pointing it right at Optimus and is about to pull the trigger. So Smokescreen, you know, his finger twitches like, not on my watch, not while I'm still alive, you're not. So he grabs his disembodied, like, crane bit and grapples it around the Requiem Blaster to pull it away from Optimus. And at first he's smirking, like, "Ha, gotcha." And Megatron looks shocked at first, but then he remembers, "Oh, wait. I'm holding the Requiem Blaster."
Yeah, kind of boned himself there.
And it's pointing right at you. And so he pulls the trigger. And a gigantic laser comes out of it and busts straight through Smokescreen's chest.
Yeah.
Like, it's the thing where you see him in silhouette. He's getting hit by the laser, getting thrown backward, and then the laser like pops out of his back, and that's when you know, oh fuck, he really got it.
Yeah, it's not great.
He gets like driven through the wall by the force of the blast. And then Megatron just goes, holy fuck, this gun is amazing.
This fucking rules! Tight, 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 tight!
Oh, hell yes, I can't wait to use this on Optimus next. And before he can do that, Smokescreen starts, like, staggering towards him.
This
and
is
we talked about
grisly.
This is fucked up.
So yeah, the Astro Blaster apparently melts you from, like, the inside out, because his entire frame is molten. Like, he is dripping himself on the floor as he claws his way out. And there is, I mean, a hole you can see right through in the middle of his abdomen.
Yeah. It's nasty. I know that in the dub, he is missing the, like, glowing white hot effect on his body.
Oh,
However,
that sucks.
However, the entire frame is warped by, like, heat distortion whenever he's on screen.
That's cool,
so the effect is still clear. It's like, oh, he is melting.
It looks really cool in the sub. I guess it's pretty grisly, though. I'm not surprised that you took that out.
Well, let me tell you, this fucked me up as a kid watching this episode. So yeah, Smokescreen, like, staggers forward to still try and get Megatron. He just goes, what is happening here? And Thrust is like, okay, we have the blaster. Let's leave. Let's leave right now because this is fucked up. This is scary. I don't want to mess with this. Anyone who can stand up after that? No.
Yeah, and Grap reaches out a hand towards Megatron, and just as he's about to make contact, Thrust is like, okay, we're going goodbye, and they warp out.
Gotta go, bye-bye. Yeah, like, he is literally melting as he walks forward. There's a bit where he's, like, kneeling on the ground, and you can see the paint peeling off and pooling at his feet when, like, the metal underneath it. Ugh.
Yeah, it's very gnarly.
He falls over, and immediately Optimus runs over to his side, and Smokescreen's like, I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't save the mini-cons.
And then he collapses.
Yeah, he dies. He seemingly dies.
And all of them press F to pay respects.
Yeah, they all salute. And Optimus is like, rest easy, soldier. But then, he can't hold in those emotions. The normally stoic Optimus has to, do a classic scream to the sky. He goes, no!
Yeah.
And the closing narration is rad, going like, yeah, that was like the most emotion we'd ever seen Optimus give off, and we knew that like this war had reached a new stage of like stakes in terms of like this was fucking personal now.
Yeah. Optimus is back, and this time he's here for revenge.
So that's where we leave off in that episode. Next episode, episode 34, Regeneration.
It is, refugee deserters.
Interesting. So yeah, once again, like I guess either one. I guess Regeneration could also be about Starscream here because this.
I don't think that one is.
Yeah, that one's probably about Smokescreen. Yeah. But this one, listeners, this is the beginning of the classic Armada Starscream character arc here. We're finally arrived.
This is the good stuff, TM.
He's fucking fed up with this shit, and he's not gonna take it anymore. But first we get a little bit of lore. As we see Smokescreen's wrecked body on the operating table. Red Alert, he's going in there to extract Smokescreen's spark, which is the first time we've seen that on screen.
And he's hooked up to a monitor, and it's like, he's in critical condition, but he's alive, and I was so mad about that.
So, the thing about Unicron Trilogy is that it's here, but especially in Energon, it is most egregious there. Characters who die just get put in a new body to make a new toy. This is pretty much the only. Yeah, this is pretty much the only example of it in Armada. But in Energon, it happens like 7 different times.
Hasbro.
But, like, as a result, basically, Unicron Trilogy Transformers are, like, considerably more durable than most because, as Optimus explains to the kids, the spark is the life source of a Transformer, and as long as that is still intact, you know, you can still live on. You can still be saved.
Do you get Jim asking deeply philosophical questions here?
No, he asks if his heart looks like that. And Billy says it's probably a little bit smaller.
So...
and less glowy.
So they're explaining the spark. Same thing in the sub. They're explaining what a spark is, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a soul." So basically, So Jim's like, "Oh, so it's a soul," and I think it's Silverbolt who says that would be this planet's interpretation of it. Yes, and then Jim looks at him and says, "So what would be the universe's interpretation of it?" And they don't answer. And they just don't answer him.
Yeah, because they're thinking about it. Blur's going to be pondering that one for a while.
Yeah.
I gotta go sit on a rock and think about the universe. Damn. But yeah, Optimus asks Red Alert for a status report. Red Alert's like, well, thankfully his spark is in good condition, but his body is fucked.
It's have you seen that thing? There's a big hole in it. Pretty bad.
Yeah, it's melted. There's a big hole in it. I'm gonna be honest, Optimus. Even though he's got an alright chance of surviving, I don't know if I can pull him through. This is a tough one. But Optimus is like, I believe in you, old buddy. You can do it. So,
well, I'm glad you do.
Yeah, Optimus, he believes in everyone. Meanwhile, we cut to Hotshot, who is feeling the fucking vengeance. He's got his blood is boiling. He wants to go fucking beat some Decepticon ass right now. And Cybertron's like, yeah, bro, let's go beat some Decepticon ass.
Yeah, we're gonna recreate West Side Story right here, right now.
I never finished that movie. I assume it works out all right for the guys, for those scrappy little guys.
I will say, it works out as well as it does in the source material of Romeo and Juliet.
I never finished that movie either. I assumed that it was a happy ending. Let's go, Sideswipe. Hotshot never watches the third act of movies. He's too impatient.
That tracks,
Tragically. Yeah. So, yeah, Jetfire's just like, let's calm down here. Let's. I understand that you are mad. We're all fucking pissed, but they have the Requiem Blaster, and we need to focus on trying to figure out what to do about that first.
Right.
So, you know, speaking of the Requiem Blaster, we cut to the moon base, and Megatron is pointing it around like a new toy. He's just like gesturing with it as he talks, and making Demolisher and Thrust very nervous.
Yeah, he's like, check out this new toy, like light up toy, lightsaber that
and Thrust is
I got
like,
for
yes.
my birthday.
I'm so glad you have the blaster now, Megatron. Please don't point it at us. It's very powerful.
Yeah,
but Megatron's like, you know what, Thrust? You have pulled through. I'm officially honoring you as one of my top Decepticon warriors.
For the first time, I'm satisfied with the work of my underlings.
And I assume that is what Cyclonus and Demolisher take umbrage with in the background, because in the dub, they're like, "Hey," and Cyclonus goes, "Wait a minute, we did all the work."
Yep, that's exactly it.
You know how it is with managers; they get all the raises, and then all the grunts just get nothing.
Unionize. The Decepticons unionize.
My evil underlings are unionizing.
My 4 million M.
Underlings. 3.8 million M, 4 million M. I don't know, Cyclonus could be a baby for all I know.
8 million M, that's Thrust.
Technically, I was one of Primus's first creations, but he took one look at me and said, "Ooh, I don't like that one," and put me somewhere where I would finish cooking. Didn't work. This is when Starscream walks in. He's hurt, mad, and has the Star Saber. Three things you never want to see.
Very, very much, and Megatron is watching all this, and it's very much, again, oh, hey, Starscream, we thought you were dead sort of moment.
Yeah, literally, Megatron's like, oh, like, I fucking figured you'd find your way back. It's fine. Like, you're a good warrior, I guess.
Yeah, basically...
No hard feelings, man.
Megatron's like, me abandoning you was a sign of how much I trusted you.
He always does this shit.
Yeah.
He's like, listen.
The gaslighting is just unbelievable.
It's called tough love, Starscream. Look it up.
But Starscream doesn't actually care about Megatron right now. His entire attention is focused on Thrust, and
yeah,
he's there. He is there to ruin Thrust's day.
He immediately fucking backfists Thrust into a wall and goes to choke him. Like, why the fuck did you turn that warp gate off on me, you son of a bitch? I will kill your ass right now. And Thrust is, I'm just come on, you wouldn't hit a guy with a squid head, would you?
I'm just a little squid boy, and it's my birthday.
And Megatron's like, all right, calm down, everyone. Let's turn it off. It's all good. I have the gun. You have the sword. Let's just calm it down. Starscream, stop choking Thrust and go get repaired. I don't want to see your unsightly frame in here.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that, but he says that in spirit. Starscream does choke slam Thrust, though.
Yeah. But Megatron's like, calm down. You don't have to be like that, Starscream. And Starscream, he's like, go and take a hot bath and get your wounds treated, and we'll all wake up better people tomorrow. And Starscream looks at him and goes, yes, sir. And there's like, you can tell that he's pissed about not being able to, like, throttle Thrust more.
Yeah.
But there's not at this moment yet the sort of full doubt in Megatron as a leader.
Yeah, like, he definitely wants to squeeze Thrust's stupid head like a stress ball, but, Megatron is still Megatron in his mind. Like,
yeah.
I assume his damage was from, like, gaining escape velocity up to the moon. Like, he had to fly back through space.
Yeah, I mean, who fucking knows, but he did it.
Jesus. Anyway, he's in...
Built Ford tough.
We finally see what the Decepticons used to heal, since they don't seem to have a medical officer. They have this, like... Yeah, it's like, they call it an energy bath. It's like a weird...
It's a spa treatment.
Yeah, it's like a big old solar panel array with glowy rainbow lights on it. And Starscream steps onto it, and he looks down at the air defense team and is like, Jetstorm, sonar, runway, come on, you've earned this too. You were damaged as well, right? Come on, don't worry about it.
Get in here. Love you guys.
Get in here, come on. Yeah, like... The sort of genuine bond Starscream has with the Saber team, it's quite nice. I like it a lot. It's cute.
Yeah, and they're like excited to be in there with him.
Yeah,
like it's a cute interaction, and they're all
Demolisher
getting cozy.
walks in.
Yeah, they're all getting cozy when Ironhide walks in, and Ironhide's like, "Yeah, hey, Chief, want to talk to you. Actually, I didn't want to talk to you, but Megatron ordered me to come here and collect a Star Saber Micron, so if you could just send them my way, that'd be..."
Starscream says, here's another idea. I'm gonna do it myself, and you fuck off. And Demolisher says, fair enough.
Oh, well, Ironhide's like, I was ordered directly to do it. And Starscream's like, listen, if Megatron has an issue with it, I'll answer for it, but fuck off.
That's what he says. Yeah, he's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. If Megatron has an issue, I'll deal with it. I just want you to leave. And Demolisher says, yep, you got it. You are still very grumpy. Gonna stay out of your way, buddy. So... I think this scene solidifies Thrust as my favorite Armada character.
Okay.
What a fucking
with Megatron in this entire scene. He's like, "Oh, Lord Megatron, you're so cool and buff, and everyone wants to be you, and wow, how tall are you? I don't know, 6, 7 meters, maybe taller with the horns. Taller with the horns, you're so funny."
Literally, yeah, it's just fucking, oh man, you're so smart and cool, and you got the blaster, you're the fucking best warlord ever.
And, like, it's
And
not just the
Megatron's
words,
like-
but it's the tone of voice as well.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
a really flirty tone of voice. I'm like, what was the decision-making behind this?
He should be, like, in Megatron's lap or something, with the way this fucking scene plays out.
Gross. Oh, I hate it.
The worst. But the conversation eventually turns to,
We're posting cringe. We're going to lose our listeners.
Wait until they see my fucking 900,000 word Thrust and Megatron fanfic I've been working on.
That's
episode.
That's episode 69. You gotta save
Exactly.
that. So yeah, they're talking about how stupid Starscream is, basically, and it's like, it's like, girlies, you are in public.
It's so fucking. Well, they think Demolisher's just gonna bring the Starscream back, and they'll
Still,
probably
but
hey,
like-
Demolisher, don't you think that Starscream's one dumb motherfucker?
I mean, I know they think that, but like, even presuming that that's what's gonna happen, like,
Yeah,
this is
no,
supposed to be the world's, like, greatest strategist and a leader of another army. Like, are they not aware of the fact that they're in a literally shattered open moon base? That, like, girlies, come on.
You know, they pulled off one successful plan, and Thrust has just got his head has gotten even bigger. He already had a big head, but now it's fucking ginormous.
Yeah,
They're
no eyes for strategy. Only eyes for Megatron.
And Thrust, they're like, hey, maybe we'll just always keep Starscream on the front lines this time. Maybe he'll get blown up or something.
And again, they're continuing the same in this conversation. They're continuing the same metaphor of the go piece of the go stone. It's like someone's got to be the stone that gets turned. Like, that is, for me, like, that's the really interesting part about Go, because when you capture a stone, it doesn't go away. It's like Othello. It gets turned.
Right.
So it gets turned into the opposing team.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that's
it's
exactly what
like
happens, huh?
Othello. It's not just, you don't just capture space, you capture actual stones in Go, and you switch the color of them.
This is when in the dub Thrust is very much like, oh, Megatron, you're such a calculating menace. I love it. You're such an evil motherfucker. Ooh, give me chills.
Oh.
And then of course
I can't deny
Starscream
it, and I'm losing
stands
all
in-
control.
Then of course Starscream stands in the hallway, and Megatron just goes, yay.
Yeah.
How much of that did you hear?
Starscream looks at them and he goes, "Guess what? I'm tired of being nice. I'm ready to go apeshit."
Yeah, he fucking lunges right at Megatron with his Starscream. He cuts the throat in half, and like it cuts down to Megatron, who had to transform into tank mode to avoid his head getting cut off. And he's like, "Holy fuck, Starscream, what are you doing?" And Thrust just goes, "It's a rebellion!" Oh. Yeah, so Starscream just fucking thrashes the fuck out of everyone in the room. Demolisher tries to come in and fight him. Starscream just slices him up with the Star Saber and, blows up a wall and flees out the back. He's fucking running. He's on his way.
Oh lord, he running.
He's like, you know what? He basically says to Megatron and Thrust, like, all right, you know what? Fuck you guys. I have literally, if you think I'm so useless, I'm just gonna go take this goddamn like Star Saber to Optimus Prime. Fuck this shit.
Well, okay, so
And-
he tries, he like attacks, one thing I do want to note here in the sub is that he attacks Megatron, and Megatron, like, fights back at him. And they're sort of, like, pacing around each other. And again, Megatron does this, like, really really darkly manipulative tactic that we saw a few episodes ago when, Starscream also was doubting his leadership during, like, the double face stuff.
The fog, yeah.
Yeah, and he says to Starscream, and he's like, you don't, basically, like, you shouldn't be getting upset about this. I told you, all you needed to do to, like, if you want things to change, all you need to do is beat me, and then you'll be in charge of the Decepticons. You can't beat me if you're, like, what is your plan for beating me if you're not here to actually do it? And he's like, the only way you will ever defeat me is if you, like, stay close enough to my side that you find your opportunity when it arises.
This is fucking rule of two ass shit right there.
Yeah.
This is some weird Sith Master Apprentice shit going on here.
Yeah.
But Starscream says, actually, no. Fuck you. I'm gonna go find the Autobots and give them the Starsaber. Bye-bye. And he warps away.
He doesn't warp away, he flies away.
That's right, he tries to warp away first.
Yeah,
that's when Megatron bursts in.
Right, but he flies away, which is when Megatron immediately is like, get him, get the Starsaber, enough of this horse shit, and he sends Shockwave after him.
Yeah, there's a moment where he fires the blaster and Starscream fucking reflects it off the Starsaber. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it is neat. And, like, meanwhile, Thrust is like, Lord Megatron, you gotta stop. We barely have a base as it is. You're going to destroy this entire area.
Please stop shooting the Starsaber. I'm afraid it might do that explosion thing again. Like when we hit the sword and shield together. Please.
But don't worry about it.
So, yeah, Starscream is fleeing, tidal wave in tow, just fucking raining down fire. We cut back to Autobase. You know, Hotshot and Sideways are training. Or not Sideways, Sideswipe are training. And they get a fucking alert. And everyone rushes into the command room.
That's his name, Sideswipe.
Yeah, they're good old Stepper.
Good old Stepper. He's just Stepper. He's just a guy.
He's just stepping. So they all rush into the fucking command room, and Hotshot says, "Oh, fuck it, Starscream, let's go, let's get him." But then Optimus is like, "Hang on, something's up. Something's weird about this." It doesn't look like Tidal Wave is shooting at Starscream and Jetfire, or it's Blur who says like, "Yeah, it does," and this doesn't seem like a decoy tactic. This seems like real shit.
Yeah, and it's so interestingly. Alexa, so they all see that, everyone at the base sees the two of them on the screen. And it's Alexa who, you know, stakes her claim. Go girl. Lay down, your territory, I guess. And she's like the first one who's like, I believe him. It's almost like he's being chased by Shockwave. And it's like, almost like? Girl, Shockwave's artillery blasting him.
Yeah, he's firing all cannons directly at Starscream.
Yeah. So
they warp out. Sideswipe ninja runs. Naruto runs out of the scene with Hotshot. Yeah, because he and Hotshot go there first, because Hotshot's like, I don't buy that shit. I'm going to go anyway to fuck them both up. Then Optimus and Jetfire warp in to do some stuff. Starscream gets shot down. He gets fucked up pretty bad there.
Yes.
By Tidal Wave here. So you know we got Jet Optimus versus Tidal Wave again. While Hotshot and Sideswipe still fight Starscream, who's just like, listen, I'm not here to fight. You guys got to get out of here. You know, he's a big motherfucker. He's not going to stop.
Yeah, he's like, don't focus on me. He's still coming. Oh, Lord, he coming.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
And Hot Rod's like, what do you mean he's coming? Oh, fuck. And then they all get blasted by Shockwave.
Yep. So Jet Optimus is fighting Tidal Wave, and Starscream, like, looks down at the Starsaber and is like, well, I gotta commit. I gotta do this. And he throws the Starsaber at Optimus, and like it hovers in front of him, and to like be like, "Hey."
Well, yeah. So he calls Optimus's name before throwing it to him, and meanwhile, Hot Rod thinks that he has like thrown it at him in like an attack, and Starscream's like, "I just called his name to get his attention. Why would I?" But it pauses and then turns around and floats gently into Optimus's hand.
Yep, and then he cuts one of Tidal Wave's gun titties off.
The top surgery was a success.
And Tidal Wave just goes, "Oh fuck," and warps away. He does not want any of that smoke. And yeah, Starscream is hands up, surrendering to Autobot custody.
Yeah.
And Optimus is just like, what the fuck is going on here? So
we get back to the Autobot base, and Starscream has just explained the events of the last 20 minutes.
And Hotshot says that's fucking bullshit. He's lying. He sucks, and we should kill him right now. And everyone's like, all right.
That's funny. That's not what he says. What he says was, how's it feel to be betrayed by the people you love? Pretty bad, huh? Does it feel bad?
Yeah.
Feels pretty bad. And Ratchet's like, Hot Rod, could you not, please?
Could you stop? I understand the sideways things didn't sit well with you, but you can't do this.
Yeah,
but he's basically just like, there's a really good line here, because he's, everyone's basically like, Blur's like, there's no reason for him to lie. Like, and the Hotshot's just like, all right, well, listen, let's say he's telling the truth. How are we supposed to trust someone who's a turncoat? And Scavengers from the corner just like, oh, really? I wonder how you feel about me then, huh? He's like, okay. Hotshot's like, hang on, that's different. Hang on.
Yeah, Andre the Giant.
Yeah, literally.
So at this point, everyone's like, well, it's an impressive story, but, only if it's true. And Alexa, again, immediately, she, looks at that cockpit and she goes, I believe him. And stake your claim early, girl.
Yep. He's at first starting to walk away. It's like, all right, fine.
Fuck
I know when I'm not wanted.
I'll
take the Star Saber and I'll go somewhere else.
I will take myself and one of the universe's most powerful weapons and simply leave.
But then Optimus is like, no, it's fine. You can stay. I believe you. I trust you. And Starscream's like, all right, well, I have something to offer you in return. I'm not just like some mooch or whatever. I can offer you a bunch of data on the Decepticon base. You just have to dig through my head a little bit and you'll find it.
Yeah.
So, and this
they
is...
had to dig through his head? Sorry, wait, what? They had to dig through his head?
He's like, it was like, you can scan my data tracks and you'll be able to decrypt it.
I think he just gave them, he just gave them a USB drive.
No, he's like, it's like in his data banks or whatever, and he's like, Sideswipe is apparently a pretty good code cracker, which is good because it's nice to have a talent in something.
Yeah, this was before he came to Earth. This was his specialty in the war. Was data analysis.
And Hotshot just goes, "No, you too, bro. Come on."
Yeah,
I thought you were on my side. But so then he walks up. He goes up to Starscream, he leans in real close, and he's like, meet me in the Mesa in 5 minutes if you want an ass kicking.
And Starscream's like, I fucking love ass kicking. See you there.
So, they're in the fucking fight Mesa. They're in the fight pit here. And, Starscream's like, listen, I have no quarrel with you. I'm sorry about what happened to your buddy, but clearly... you're not backing down. So you know what? Let's have at it. Let's go. Let's fucking fight.
Yeah, it's slightly different. So, he gets there and Hot Rod's like, you know why I called you here, right? And Starscream's like, to get revenge on your fallen comrade, I presume. And Hot Rod has a moment of yeah, I know it won't fix things, but I feel like it's something I gotta do. And Starscream's like, well, I've never been one to back down from a challenge.
It's basically the same.
Regardless of your reasons.
Yeah. It is basically the same. It's like, I gotta fight you for Smokescreen's sake. I know it's not gonna bring him back, but I gotta do something. So they fight. We see a shot of Jolt and Runway peeking over a rock like, Mommy, Daddy, why are you fighting?
The girls are fighting!
And we get a shot of Red Alert continuing his kit bash of a brand new toy. Right before that. So Jolt and Runway go to inform the others about what's going on, and Optimus goes, oh, fuck. God damn it.
Well, first of all, it takes a minute to decipher what the Microns are saying before Rad is eventually like, Hot Rod and Starscream are beating the crap out of each other. And Optimus is like, what?
Yeah, Jetfire is like, oh shit, I gotta get over there to what? I mean, help, break it up. Yes. Yes, that's what I will go do. It really feels as though at first he just wants to go to watch or, like, help Hotshot out. But then he's like, oh, I will do the responsible thing. And Sideswipe also goes. So, yeah, they've just been slugging it out for who knows how long. Sun, I guess not that long. The sun is still setting in the background.
What's better than this?
Just two dudes slapping each other around on a desert mesa at sunset.
Just guys being dudes.
And, but then, someone throws a rock at them. And Hotshot's like, hey, what the fuck? And then some weird new guy is standing up there, and he turns into a steam shovel.
So I want to point out something here.
Yes.
Is that this came out in 2001. In 2000, there was an event on Toonami called The Intruder, which was a 4-part miniseries in which the host of Toonami, Tom, had to deal with this invasive alien force that ultimately killed him. But he was brought back as Tom 2 in a new body, and that happened just 1 year before this debuts.
And you know what? Armada aired on Toonami.
Exactly.
It all comes together. So yeah, this is... I do not believe they will ever not call him Smokescreen, but this is Hoist. It's his new toy, at least. I don't think he's ever called that.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but like...
It's Grap 2!
2! Yeah, so he fucking beats the he does some, like, CQC on these two idiot boys. And he's just like, Hotshot, and then Hotshot's, like, thrilled to see him up and about in his sick new body. He's like, Hotshot, I really appreciate, you fighting for my honor or whatever, but as you can see, I'm alright now, so there's no need to, beat the shit out of each other on a desert mesa. And he's like, he turns to Starks and he's like, I was filled in on your whole deal. I understand. I get it. I would like to help. Smokescreen's an alright guy.
Yeah.
Cool guy. But yeah, so then we get a little bit of a cliffhanger here.
Yeah,
where
we do.
Jetfire says, alright, we finished decrypting the data. We have like a fucking full map of... We have like a full map of the base. We have their warp gate codes. We have everything.
Oh, yeah. So one thing I didn't mention is that in the sub, when Starscream gives him this information, what he says specifically, he's like, I don't have just information on... It's not just I have information on the base. It's I have everything you need to launch an attack directly on them.
Yep. And that is exactly what they're going to do. Everyone, including Starscream, is in the warp room, and they're getting ready to, like, all right, let's fuck them up, boys. And Optimus is like, all right, listen, as soon as we go through this gate, we are going to be directly in the enemy base. No fucking around here. It is go time. As soon as we hit this button. And the next time on Transformers Armada, it's time for we already had the base defense mission earlier on in the show. It's time for a base assault mission.
Yeah.
Time to get him back. So that is the end of Regeneration. Shit is happening now. This is the good shit from Armada. This is the back half of Armada. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Shaky start. Yeah.
I'm excited about where we're going from here.
Soon, we're gonna get to that subtitle there, the Unicron battles. That is like 4 or 5 episodes away, I think, where we start getting that in the dub. So we're closing in on the end. We're getting pretty close. We got what, 20 episodes left?
Something like that.
Give or take? Yeah, I think there's 50.
Yeah, I think there's 18 episodes left, yeah.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, we're getting there. We're almost done. Yeah, so next time we will see the base assault, but for now, we've got some fucking Questorinos to answer.
Yeah.
Check the Twitter real quick. Nothing on the Twitter. So, how about we answer some of these Discord questions?
Perfect. Yeah, I can grab those. So our first one is from Casey Cosmotector, which is, what's your favorite edgy character?
Oh, man. It's so hard to choose. I like a fair amount of edgelords. So I think I'll have two answers. I'll have a Transformers-specific answer, and then I will have a wider answer. The Transformers-specific answer is Cyclonus from IDW.
Yeah, okay. All right. Do your other answer, and I'll think of...
I mean, let's see. It's like, depending... Alright, I'm thinking about the definition of edgy. I think it might be Zoro from One Piece. He's pretty edgy.
I'll give it to you.
With the three swords and all.
I'll give it to you. Alright. My favorite edgy Transformer is, probably Black Arachnia.
Yeah.
You don't usually... I really like that she's in a woman in edgelord position. You don't see that often.
Yeah.
And then my favorite edgelord in general is just, it's gotta be Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho.
There's so many edgelords out there. They're all, you gotta let yourself enjoy the dumb shit sometimes.
So, if we count it, I would say Yami is also up there as well.
Definitely in season 0.
I think in general he's a bit of an edgelord.
Yeah, the other two definitely out-edge him, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure, but...
Especially Yami Merrick.
Oh, yeah, well... I don't think Yami Merrick's an edgelord. I think he's just like...
He's just like a sicko.
He's just rancid.
Yeah, no.
Bakura's an edgelord, yeah.
That's a classic edgelord for sure.
Yeah.
Next, we got some from Cass Arachnia. Which two Autobots commit the taboo of Cybertronian transmutation to try and bring Daddy Optimus back to life? How badly do they screw it up?
Okay, again, it's gotta be Hot Rod.
Yeah, it's Hot Rod and Sideswipe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because those two are bros.
In this continuity, it is.
Definitely.
I think it's Hot Rod. Okay, I think it's Hot Rod and Prowl. Because Prowl would be, like, self-centered enough to be like, I can control God.
Yeah, he is also one of the most all atheism-ass characters in IDW for sure.
Yeah. So yeah,
even more so than the actual like most hardline atheist.
Yeah.
Jetfire.
He would get his arm removed and still be like, I don't believe in God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like Ed.
And he's also a prick, just like Ed.
Yep. He's more of a prick than Ed is.
Oh, definitely.
And
Ed
they
has
screw
the
it up.
benefit of. Oh, definitely. Like
they create a spark eater. They create a spark eater.
The thing about Ed is that he has the benefit of being like 15, so yeah, he's like that. Prowl, no excuse. No excuse for why he's like that. Next up, Cass, have there been any metamorph transformers, like Mystique powers, not just changing from one shape to another? Yes. There is one in Prime. His name is Makeshift, I believe.
Yep.
I can't quite remember any others though. I think he might be one of the few like shape changing guys.
Yeah.
There's definitely people who can like mimic stuff voice wise, but he's the only guy who can like turn into other dudes.
Right. Yeah. Everyone needs a little Double Trouble character.
Yeah, you got to add someone there for flavor.
For the gender of it all.
For the gender of it all. What sad song plays when you read the IDW comic scene when Autobot Megatron sees the field of flowers? Honestly, whenever I see that panel, I just hear like sort of wind blowing.
I just hear birdsong.
Like just silence.
Yeah.
Like just sort of I imagine it like if it was in like a fucking animated thing or whatever. That would be like the end of an episode and just like a fucking 4-second long shot as it pans out or like it zooms out in utter silence. That's the good shit.
The only thing that like immediately comes to mind from music would be actually A Little Fall of Rain from Les Mis.
Yeah.
Which has the line, rain will keep me safe and rain will keep you close and rain will make the flowers grow.
Oh, fuck, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing is like, don't you fret, Monsieur Mary. It's as one of the characters, Eponine, dies. And Marius goes over to her, and it's a song. She's saying, don't you fret, Monsieur Marius. I can't feel any pain. A little fall of rain can hardly hurt me now.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one from Horn My Starscream. Which is your favorite Starscream?
Oh, it's so hard to choose.
It's hard. That's so hard.
But I'm gonna say Rid, robot or the IDW
one.
Yeah, IDW one.
I think
Phase 2.
I will say televised, animated.
Televised is Prime.
Yeah.
But no, G1 has a very near and dear place in my
Yeah,
heart.
G1 is just so fucking stupid.
Chris Latta's voice work on G1 Starscream is really quite impeccable.
Just screaming
you
his
can't
vocal
do
cords
this
apart.
to me! Ah!
Just screeching like a little baby every time something goes wrong. It's incredible.
Lives up to his name.
Yep. My foot! Yeah, so for me, on television, it's animated Starscream. Just like, there's... Tom Kenny Starscream is one of the funniest Starscreams, while still being, like, threatening in most of his appearances. Of course, very, very close second for Prime Starscream. Like, there are different flavors of Starscream, but I like them both. I think I just come out more on animated. And of course, yeah... IDW1 Starscream, especially that stretch between, like, Robots in Disguise through about Windblade Volume 1, that's, like, peak IDW Starscream right there.
The concept of of a Starscream getting what he wants is incredibly intriguing, because it was something that hadn't happened in, like, the 30 years.
It's a really good,
he'd existed as a character until it happened in IDW. And,
yeah, he gets elected president, and Optimus immediately throws his hands up and says, well, I'm done. I refuse to deal with this.
Optimus takes the Matrix, does a King Solomon's Court on it, gives half of it to Rodimus, and says, fuck off, everyone.
Yep. Done. Fuck you all. Bye-bye.
Optimus out, and he drops the Matrix.
Yep. Oh, it's so good. From Cosmo's Side Piece, what is your niche headcanon about Cybertronian sociodynamics? What embarrassing subcultures exist out there? Ooh, I want to see a goth Cybertronian.
So, I think... I can't talk about subcultures. I do think there is a very, like, clear canon divide between flyers and grounders. In terms of culture... but beyond that, not so over. One of my favorite headcanons is that, Vosians and Praxians are, like, from the same diverging, like, evolutionary line, which is why Praxians have door wings.
Yeah, alright, there you go.
So, Praxians, so, there's two cities on Cybertron. One is called Vos, which is where all the Seekers, like Starscream, are from. And then there's another city called Praxis, which is where the cop class is from, honestly. But
that's not very Praxis of them.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So it's this city called Praxis where most of the people that come from Praxis have door wings. So it's so canonly, Bluestreak is a Praxian, Prowl's a Praxian, Smokescreen is a Praxian. Yeah, so G1 Smokescreen, that is. And I think Wheeljack might be? But anyways.
Yeah, he's got door wings.
Yeah, they all have, like, sort of the same... I know he has door wings, I just couldn't remember if he was canonly from Praxis or not. But it makes my heart smile to think that Praxians evolved from flyers.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
But,
yeah, no, if you want to read about a lot of cool Transformers world building, IDW1 is where it's at. They put a lot of into Written More Than Meets the Eye. They thought a lot about what does Cybertron actually look like as a society? Because that's not really a thing most continuities had been able to do before. Where it's like, well, it's always in the middle of a millennia-long civil war, so that's basically the society. It's all dedicated to the war effort, but in that story, it's like, well, the war's over.
Yeah, Nero.
What the fuck happens now?
Nero and I are here daring to ask the difficult questions, like how much can we talk about a comic on a podcast that's about TV?
Animated also does the War is Over thing, though. That also has
Yes.
some culture stuff in it, which is cool. Yeah, no.
But yes,
we
IDW.
we talk about IDW enough that you could stitch together an entire episode of this podcast just about our tangents on IDW.
Yeah, which is losing the rights to Transformers at the end of 2022. So end of an era.
End of an era. You know, I want to see what else comes out of it, because I didn't vibe with the new continuity very much.
Well, not it was hard shoes to fill.
Yeah, it was fine. I was just like, not really feeling it. The art in the early issues didn't help, where it was like, ooh, someone used these toys as references, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But I will say I did enjoy IDW 2 Starscream a lot, because he's just back at his like classiest, almost G1 self.
Yeah, I think that's been a lot of like, there's been a lot of effort to like kind of reset and re-simplify things in the factions, right? Where it's like, all right, Starscream back to being like a conniving traitor, Decepticons back to being evil, all that stuff. That's in the comics, that's in that Netflix show and whatnot, and Cyberverse. Like, everything is kind of, we played around for a while. We fucked around for a bit in the mid 2000s to like the mid 2010s. But now, back to basics.
Yeah.
Anyway, final question from Casey Cosmotector. You've just gone through a time skip of some sort and have to get a new look. What changes to your visual design do you adopt?
My hair is long now in the future, because it can't get much shorter, and I have tattoos.
Like a poncho and a really big Gandalf beard, and some kind of very large gun. Like a Trigun gun. Wait, does that cross a gun? I never watched Trigun. I should probably watch Trigun.
Sure
Everybody would
is.
like Trigun. Yeah. So yeah, those are our post-time skip designs. After we get locked into the hyperbolic time chamber to talk about IDW for like 3 years.
Yeah. We could do it.
We could do it, but for now, we have been Prime Cuts. You can find us on Twitter at PrimeCutsPod, where you can join our goddamn Discord. Everyone should join our Discord. It's great. You can look at so many pictures of Thrust. I need to make a Thrust emote.
Oh, God.
But it's hard. It's really hard to get.
Well, they're all hard.
Like, they are all hard. We know this. Yeah, you can join our Discord. We are a part of NoiseSpace.xyz, a podcast network. Thank you, Matt GameCube, for allowing us on there, along with such other fantastic shows as Kyle XY, 0 to 0, who are going to be starting Birds of Prey soon. I'm very excited for that, because that movie whips ass.
God, it's so fucking good.
It's a fucking great movie. And all, just like anything you want. Like, you want more about some more robots? Wow, cool robot. It's right over there. You want to hear about Digimon? Digimon Ghost Gaze. We got it. You want it? We got it. Anything you want, we got. That's the slogan. It's a really long slogan, and it's not very wieldy, and it's not the slogan.
And none of these things were true. We're really, really building a lot of trust amongst our listeners.
I'm like Sideways. You should never trust anything I say except when you should.
You can find Noisespace at noisespace.xyz, and all of the shows wherever you find podcasts. And I am. You should also. I think we mentioned this. Always, we are mentioning this. But you should also join our Discord.
Join the damn Discord.
Yep. Oh right, no, we just talked about this and pictures of Thrust.
Well, it's worth saying it again.
Did we say where the link to the Discord to join is though?
In the Twitter link in our bio.
Yeah, under URL and also in the description of all of our episodes.
There's so many ways you can click on it to join our Discord. You should do it. It's easy. One click. That's all it takes.
And I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Twitter at Optimum on Prime. That's my funny robot internet joke. You can also listen to the other podcast I do called Pot of Greed. It's also on the Noise Space Network. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's something. It's boy.
Season 3.
It's good. It's good. You should listen to us talk about it. And I think that's it. So
I'm near. Well, hang on. I didn't plug my
sorry.
stuff. Trying
Sorry.
to shuffle me off before I get to say I am on Twitter at DragonSmoocher. You can find some of my other projects in various places, such as the now complete podcast I did with my friend Jane on the 2018 She-Ra Netflix show. That's at Podcast to Power. Great show, great podcast. Our next project, what I promise will be starting up soon, is at Heidelin Radio. Radio Free Heidelin, a comprehensive Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast. Hey, you can buy the game again. You can't make a free trial, but you can buy the game again. So we're making progress. And you can also find me over at Disney Minus Pod on Disney Minus, talking about the various offerings of that rancid little mouse, Michael. Next episode is on Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea.
I hear that one's good.
I think that's one of the better, like, straight-to-VHS sequels, yeah. I liked it when I was a kid, but, you know, that don't mean
I hear
shit.
it's like that and Lion King 2. Or like...
I can vouch for that. That one's alright. That one's definitely alright.
Depending on how much of a furry you are, your enjoyment may vary.
So, until next week, listeners, I will transform, do a 360 no-scope, and stab thrust directly in the squid head with the Star Saber, and roll out.
I am going to place a stone on my go board, transform and roll out.